Good evening. We bring you the latest in the world of sports. I'm Paulo Del Rosario.
And we give you the conversations you want to hear from your favorite icons and athletes. I'm Billy Capistrano. In tonight's game plan, we'll talk about the Philippine women's football team who are inching closer to history in the ongoing AFC Women's Asian Cup.
We'll also check in with Cignal HD News new FEU duo Cayuna and Jerrili Malabanan as they make their squad more awesome. And we'll talk courtside friendships with former FEU courtside reporter Crespo and former Lady Tamaraw Jel Cayuna. Rather, we'll just have Sydney Crespo later on. Buckle up, sports fans. Let's get in the game. Well, mga kababayan, our women's national football team is on the verge of history during their run in the AFC Women's Asian Cup quarterfinals. Let's take a look at the standings after the group stages. The Philippines placed second, booking their spot to the quarterfinals. Australia ended up on top of that list with 3 wins and no losses. Thailand, Indonesia are out of the competition, thus ending their road to the World Cup. Now joining us to discuss the ongoing run of our national women's team, live from Pune, India, BFF Media Officer Sedelf Tupa. Sedelf, the only man on the ground for the show for the women's team. Thank you very much for joining us.
Hi, Sadel.
Hi. Thank you so much for checking in on me. My mental health is a bit, a bit stressful here.
Yeah. Can I just say, Billy, see Sedelf and I, sometimes when he's lonely, he just calls me, and I'm here to give him company, and we're glad to have him on the show. First of all, how does it feel seeing our girls do what they're doing right now on the cusp of history, Sedelf?
Wow, it's been amazing. Getting a front row seat to this journey that we have with the national women's team. I understand. They haven't been in the Philippines for a while because they trained in the United States. But these girls, kahit saan sila, they carry that the country. They want to make us proud, and you cannot help but really open your heart to these girls because the when I see that Philippine flag inside that dugout, before they arrive, and then seeing them come out of that locker room, and then playing with joy and playing with pride. I think minsan we take for granted the little things of just playing together, playing with your teammates. This group loves to play for each other, and they love to play for the country. Kaya, wala. They really, endearing, kumbaga, ang team natin.
Grabe, Sadel. I think I might have shed a tear sa sinabi mo. Pero totoo naman na we are so proud of these girls. Now, Filipino football fans, we're definitely still on a high after that big win against Indonesia. What a feat for the ladies. Now, we had 5 players who scored 6 goals. What went right for Team Philippines in that match?
I think it's been a lot of a lot of football fans have been raving about the coaching and the preparation, and I think you can count that one more game to that factor again. I was in training the day before, and Coach Alan Stajic got it all figured out. The way Indonesia would back the defense, their defense in the middle, they knew exactly what was going to happen in that match, and it was really up to the players to find a way. But putting that plan in mind, and putting that situation in mind of our girls really helped them with regards to how they want to figure out and break down Indonesia. So as a whole, we saw some good play from our some wonderful goals. This is the wonderful thing about Coach Allen here, is his influence and his experience with the national team of Australia before. He knows this competition, and having these girls with him, and who these girls have welcomed him with open arms, their coaching staff as well. So I mean, it's a perfect combination, if you think about it.
Sedelf, obviously the adjustments. For those who were not who haven't been following the girls, the adjustments against Indonesia, syempre may konting adjustments to make sure that players are fresh rotation-wise, and they did the best that they could to make sure everyone's ready for the quarterfinals. So I want to move forward and ask you, sa palagay mo ba, are there any players in particular that you think that the public needs to watch out for those who haven't seen the girls in action yet, girls that you feel would really capture yung hearts and minds of yung Filipino fans natin dito? All right, so I think Sadelf is having a difficult time with his internet at the moment. Pero syempre, Bill, I'm gonna answer that question right now because I
Go ahead.
actually
The
do
floor
want.
is yours, pal. Walang kumikigan sa'yo.
Oh, no, I actually think there are a lot of names to watch out for. Obviously, si Katrina Galю, who plays on the left side and medyo attacking. She scored a great goal against Indonesia, and she almost scored in the first game against Thailand. Then, of course, there's so many young players coming out. Friles is doing very well on the right. There's a photo of Gilyu right now. Chandler McDaniel is taking control in the middle. She's been doing very well also. But then there's just so many big names to watch out for, and so much that I feel we're gonna get to know more of as the competition goes on. Steph, as now that you're back, I was mentioning key players to watch out for. I mentioned si Gilyu. I mentioned si. I thought Friles was playing very well in McDaniel's. Is there anyone I missed in particular?
Well, Jessica Miklat, I thought she's been amazing in this tournament. There were some glitches in the plan with regards to players coming in the first game, and she was, I don't, I was seeing the first training session, and she was not part of the first 11, and then she got inserted in the starting lineup, and she's been there ever since. And
Yeah.
I got she could be a fine impact player off the bench, but with the way she's playing right now, she's been amazing for us. That there's really a lot of players who have surprised me. Sophia Harrison, who did not play yesterday,
Mhm.
he was rested yesterday, has been pretty good at left back. Malaya Cesar was 18-year-old. Malaya Cesar just scored her first goal last night as well, and you cannot ignore the fact that the Castañeda sisters, Sarah and Anika, made an impact last night as well.
Yeah.
So, Coach Alan Stajic was talking about depth, and I think anyone you can put now in the lineup can deliver. So, you cannot just count on individuals. This is a team that has grown and has matured and has improved together.
Yeah, no, that's. I think you're absolutely right. There's so much to watch out for, and you know what? For all of the fans who are excited and want to see our national team play, you can catch it on One Sports and One Sports Plus this Sunday. Philippines versus Chinese Taipei. The winner will go on to the semifinals and book a ticket to the FIFA Women's World Cup. The Philippines has never been there, so this could be history in the making. Now let's move on over from the pitch to the NBA. Now, big news today as the league announced the starting lineups for the upcoming All-Star game. And Sadelf is normally a football guy, but he's still here. He can talk about basketball. Shooter din to eh. Billy, I don't know if you know that, pero shooter to talaga. Here are the front court starters: LeBron, Nikola Jokic, and Andrew Wiggins for the West. Steph Curry and Ja Morant for the Western guards as well. Over in the East, you have Joel Embiid, Kevin Durant, amongst the biggest names in there. But then let's focus first on the West. Billy, we were talking about this a while ago. There's a guy that we're not so sure why he's
Grabe, diba?
there.
Alright, so speaking of the guy that a lot of people have mixed reactions about his inclusion in the starting lineup. So let's talk about Andrew Wiggins, Sadelf. What do you think? Trending siya actually ngayon eh. Trending siya ngayon. So as a fan yourself, do you think he's supposed to be there? What are your thoughts on this?
Uh, uh, Full disclosure, I'm a member of Dub Nation, but
Kaya pala.
yeah, yeah. But you know what's amazing about Andrew Wiggins? We all love a story about redemption and getting your reputation back, or just bouncing back. And I think that has been the narrative for him this season. A lot of NBA fans have counted him out. There was even a push for him to get traded for a nice piece for the championship puzzle for Golden State. But here is he he's been there. He's been very consistent for Golden State this season. I think just for his comeback story alone, redemption story alone, I think he deserves to be there. And I think for the lack of a really solid option, anyone else? Not for I don't see anyone being better than him right now with regards to that.
Alam mo, Billy, bias talaga to eh.
Oo nga eh. Parang
Personally
napansin ko
speak,
rin eh.
bias talaga to eh.
Yeah,
Again,
but you gotta agree with me with the redemption story, right?
no, yeah, the redemption story is
throw him
fine.
out.
The redemption story is fine, but it's not in my own humble opinion. It is not a starter worthy. Again, for those wondering, who he got in over, remember that he is classified as a front court player, so he got over some of the better wings and centers in the Western Conference. So that is Draymond Green, Paul George, Rudy Gobert, the three closest members of that team. Pero alam mo, you look at Delph, you look at all of the people commenting saying that maybe the fan vote shouldn't matter as much. Agree ka ba dun?
Why? It's an all-star game, right? It's an all-star game. It's part of it's part of what makes the NBA great, and really basketball in particular. And that's why masyadong democratize yung basketball eh. Ang opinion natin lahat eh. Kaya masaya. Kaya everyone, di ba? I wish I could have that in football,
Hmm.
I wish I could bring that enthusiasm and interest in football. Wow, you know that. How
Yeah,
much
yeah.
I would love to trade off for that.
That's the both of us. That's the both of us. Pero Delph, again, maraming salamat. Stay safe there in India.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Now, after the break, we'll check in with Cignal HD's new FEU duo, Cayuna and Jerrili Malabanan, as they make their squad more awesome. Stay tuned. You're watching The Game.
Thank you to everyone watching us over on Facebook Live. That was Delph Tupas, the PFF media officer and Dubs fan, Billy. Parang galit pa ako dun eh. I mean, that is a strange occurrence for me in particular. But up next, we got a lot of volleyball to talk about, Bill.
Definitely, we have Jel and Jerrili. So a new team. It's gonna be pretty fun, especially because it's gonna be like an FEU reunion.
Yeah.
Cignal.
Yeah, of course, sabi nga nila sa FU, diba, be brave. And it's a brave new era dito para sa Cignal HD. So let's see whether or not these girls can be part of that boost to end up pushing them into contention dito sa Cignal HD in the next season of the PVL, which, if I'm not mistaken, will be opening in March. Stay here for that. Stay here for that.
Welcome back to The Game. Tamara Blood charges through as the Cignal HD Spikers get more awesome with FEU duo Cayuna and Jerrili Malabanan. The two join FEU legend Rachel Andakis, former mentor Shaq De Los Santos, 5 mainstays, and 7 other newcomers. Tonight, national team pool member Cayuna and reliable spiker Jerrili Malabanan join us live. Team Awesome, welcome to The Game. Alam ko si Jerrili lang nandyan, susunod daw si Jel. But hello, Jer. How are you?
Hello. Hi. I'm good.
Well, it's so good to have you on the show. And first of all, welcome to the Cignal family. They're very lucky to have you and vice versa. Now, how did you decide to join this team?
I think I decided to join this team when Coach Shaq, he called me, and I was kind of I was like shocked that he called me because I know that he had already like a team, and I thought he was gonna get like other players. So I was excited that he chose me after all these years of not being on the same team together.
Jared, could you give us a bit of an insight on how that call went? Because obviously it feels great when someone reaches out to you that way. But
Yeah.
then, how did you feel knowing? First of all, it was Coach Shaq reaching out to you, and
Mhm.
what did he tell you that he felt that you could bring to the team?
Um, he like started off the conversation saying, it's been a while since we've been together at FEU, and he knows that both of us have matured playing for different teams and him coaching for other teams. And he was excited to reunite with me and Angel and the other players so that we could like join each other again and share what we have learned from the other teams.
So again, it's basically going to be an FEU reunion and Cignal. So how does it
Mm-hmm.
feel like that you're going to be under Coach Shaq again? I mean, he was your mentor back in college, and now you're going to play
Mm-hmm.
for him again. And now that you've matured, so what do you think, Jay? What are your thoughts on him being the coach to
Mm-hmm.
look up to again this time around?
I'm excited that he's gonna be my coach again. Even though I've played for him before and I've already learned things from him, I feel like I still have a lot of things to learn from him, especially since he's had champion teams before, even after coaching at FU. So I'm excited to learn new things from him.
Well, Jared, you mentioned that it's been a while since you actually touched base or been part of the same team.
Mm-hmm.
I think from the last time you were together, how would you say you've changed as a person, as a player? How have you grown and developed from
Mm-hmm.
the last time? And we'll have you answer that first, but we also want to welcome Jel Cayuna finally joining us on the
Hi,
call.
Jel.
Welcome, Jel.
Hello po.
So, Jerry,
Good
go ahead
evening.
first.
I think I've become more vocal, I would say, because when I first joined FU, I was very quiet. I mean, I'm still a more reserved person now, but I think over the years, especially under Coach Shaq and other coaches, and playing volleyball, this sport has really um, brought me out of my shell, I would say.
Now, we asked, Jel, tinanong kasi namin si Jerrili kanina kung bakit siya nag-decide mag-join ng Cignal. Ikaw, mas nauna ka nag-sign, diba,
Yes
with
po.
Cignal. September pa, sabi mo. So, kamusta naman yung experience mo with them so far?
So far, okay naman po. Di ko rin naman po first time na nakakasama si Coach Shock. So, konting adjustment na lang po talaga. And yung sa mga teammates ko naman po, sobrang welcome ako sa kanila. And magaan po sila kasama sa training. Kaya ganun din po, konting adjustment lang din.
Jel, anong sinabi sa inyo ni Coach in terms of yung recruitment niya? Ano yung pitch niya sa'yo?
Um, ay, si Angel pala.
Sorry,
Sorry.
Jel.
Ay, ako, Jen. Sabi na lang po sa akin, pinangako niya po sa akin na mas marami pa akong may improve. And syempre ako bilang player, gusto ko din naman yun. At yun din kasi yung hinahanap ko sa coach na parang tutukan ako. Yun po.
Now, Jel, aside from Coach Shaq, syempre isa pang familiar face na makakasama nyo on the court, ang Queen Tama raw, si Rachel Andakis. Kamusta yung feeling na teammate nyo ngayon ng isa sa mga legends ng FEU?
Sobrang saya ko po kasi dati nung UAAP games pa lang, pag nanonood siya, parang nagsasalita lang siya sa harap namin, gano'n. Tapos ngayon, nakakasama ko na, teammate ko na. Pag may gusto akong itanong, natanong ko na sa kanya. And ayun, masaya siya kasama sa loob ng court, magaan, at siya rin po yung isa sa nagpapa-good vibes sa training namin. Kaya looking forward po ako sa magiging everyday na training namin, yung magiging samahan namin. At excited na po ako na makasama siya mismo sa game. And I know na marami po akong matututunan sa kanya inside and outside the court.
Jer, this team in general, it's relatively new in terms of the new faces coming in. There are a few mainstays, of course. But what can you say about the list that we're all seeing right now in terms of the talent, in terms of the potential of this group, Jer?
I'm really excited for our team this year and how much we can achieve, because if you look at all of the positions, I think we're competitive in every single position. So I know there's going to be a lot of healthy competition on the team to really like push each other during trainings and games.
Ikaw, Jel, agree ka ba doon na may healthy competition talaga kayo within the team?
Opo. And lahat po sa nakikita ko masisipag po eh. Kaya ganun nga, healthy competition.
It's good na sinabi niya opo kasi kung unhealthy yung competition, feeling ko iba yung kwentuhan natin dito
Iba na
eh.
yan, iba na yan.
Oo. Pero Jel, syempre may potential yung grupo nito. This group has to come in together and gel. Pero what can the Cignal fans expect from Team Awesome this season?
Meron po talaga silang i-expect ngayon. Hindi lang sa akin, pati sa mga teammates ko. Lalo na ngayon ay makikita natin sa mga lineup ng ibang team na malalakas talaga. Tapos bawat team may mga veterano. Kaya yung gagawin namin ngayon, mag-double effort kami. Pagtitibayin po namin yung preparation namin para matapat po namin yung kalabanan.
Ikaw naman, Jer, what can Cignal fans expect from you and Team Awesome, and what can you bring to this team?
I think they can expect our team to really give it our best. Over this vacation, I know my teammates haven't stopped training and working out to get ready for this upcoming tournament. So we're really going to give it our best this upcoming PVL and really try to improve what Cignal performed last year.
Well, thank you so much, ladies, so much for joining us. Thank you for your time, and good luck in Cignal. We can't wait to watch you in the PVL.
Thank you po.
Thank you po.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome girls to the Cignal family. So, when we return, we'll talk courtside stories with former FEU courtside reporter Sydney Crespo. Of course, Billy Capistrano will give her takes too. Keep it here. You're watching the game. Right. So up next, we have Sydney Crespo to talk about her UAAP life, her courtside life. Siyempre, Billy Capistrano is in charge of the search. Well, not in charge, but, one of the key faces to, to please for the search of the next courtside reporter.
Grabe naman
Bill,
yung face.
good luck. Of
Grabe
course,
naman.
Cindy Crespo's coming in. She was the FEU courtside reporter from season 80 to 81, so relatively recent. But then it feels like so long ago, Bill. Syempre, I'm sure we have a lot to discuss when it comes to her. Sydney is here when we return here on the game. Don't go away. Thank you for joining us again on Facebook Live and watching us also on One News and One Sports. As well as One Sports Plus as well. We're everywhere. No excuse not to see us. All right, so keep it here.
You're watching the game. As the search continues for the next batch of UAAP courtside reporters, tonight we bring in Sydney Crespo, who was a reporter for FEU for seasons 80 to 81. Hi, Sid, and welcome to the game.
Hi, Billy. Hi, guys. Thank you so much for inviting me.
Yes, of course, and thank you so much for joining us. This is going to be a pretty fun discussion. So first things first, what made you decide to audition? Because everybody has their origin story, diba? Yung mga courtside reporters, meron tayong unique stories na why we wanted to audition. What was yours?
Well, mine was, I was heavily influenced by my dad kasi we growing up, we both watched basketball and kasi all girls kami, so wala naman siyang choice. Ako lang yung kasama niya manood ng basketball and then he just keeps on telling me, like, bakit di ka mag-audition? Nung nag-report sa TV, lagi siyang ganon because you watch all of the leagues. And then, one day I said, okay, I'm gonna try, I'm gonna ask around. And then I think, like, eventually someone helped me get into the audition kasi wala talaga akong alam about it. I know that we have Gainiel Krishnan as the courtside reporter. Yun pala, graduate na din siya. So it was just all about right timing. But also ultimately because I like speaking, kaya ganon. And then I love basketball. Kaya ako na-audition.
No, I think those are great reasons, obviously. Pero when you actually got the job, una-una, ano yung reaction mo? And then what was the first experience na nalala mo na, uy, trabaho pala to?
Very good question, actually. My first reaction, well, of course, I cried. Well, actually, I cried before that before knowing na I got the job. Kasi I thought I didn't get the job. So, iyak ako na iyak. Sabi ko, paano na yung FEU? Paano ko wala silang courtside reporter? Yung mga ganong thoughts lang. And then when I got the job, I was super happy kasi I was excited to represent FEU kasi I had friends, I had mentors na rin in FEU, and I want them to be happy na we got someone from the school. And I realized na it was really a job when I was already inside the dugout one of the game days. Parang I realized na okay, it's meron lang deadline until I can be a fangirl where I can fangirl about Coach O or Coach Johnny, but then I have to to be a full on storyteller, courtside reporter. So that's when I realized siguro one of the days in the dugout.
Pero grabe
Nag-name
talaga.
drop, si Coach O, si Coach
Si Coach O
Johnny. Oo.
When you're there doing it, it feels very surreal, especially during your first game and the whole process. But when you're actually there in front of the camera, talking with a mic in your hand, it feels very, very surreal. And there are a lot of surreal moments as well as a courtside reporter. Pero yung for you, Sid, ano yung favorite memory mo? Yung nakatatak talaga sa brain mo na when you look back, this was like the memory that you're gonna remember forever.
Wow. Well, of course, all of the games are important, especially the pre-game, di ba? Nakakatuwa pagka pre-game, lalo na if you're just starting in the industry. Sobrang nakaka-excite yung ganung feel na empty pa yung arena, but you guys are all there because you're gonna work. It's a legit job. But, di ba? But I guess like one of the best memories yung mga Final Four games namin. Because I always knew na, I mean, I believe nung time na yun na parang we had the chance, so sayang lang na it didn't happen. But Final Fours din is always fun and nerve-wracking. So I guess yun yung mga favorite memories ko, both volleyball and basketball.
You know, the thing is that when you're attached to a team, you feel like you're part of the team. So lahat ng mga talo nila, ramdam mo talaga eh. Did you feel that? Did you feel that way in terms of yung mga celebration nila, in terms of yung mga low moments nila, na mas apektado ka than you were before nung fan ka pa?
No, yes, for sure. I mean, lalo na nasa sideline ka lang, kitang-kita mo lahat. And I guess kung ano pa yung nakaka-heighten nung feeling is that you can also hear all of the huddles, diba? Like on my left or on my right, there are huddles. So you know the reason behind, let's say, a play or what happened or a decision. And so kung it didn't turn out the way you guys wanted to be, mas masakit siya for you or for any fan. So yes, I get affected, pero laging pinapaalala sa amin na medyo itago lang natin yung emotions natin, ganyan. Medyo demure lang, ganyan. So I try. Pero of course there were moments na umiyak din ako or I jumped or I shouted, "Let's go FEU, let's do this, guys." So maraming ganong moments.
To be fair, never naging demure si Billy. Ever.
Uy, naging demure ako But they also used to tell us quite often that you really can't cheer. But I think towards the end, parang nalalabas mo din yung pagka-school spirit mo. Now, you know, Said, I think one of the best things about being a courtside reporter is really forming friendships with the athletes, gaining their trust. So ikaw, how special are the FEU athletes to you? And how did you gain their trust when you were a courtside reporter?
You know, that's super true. I think yun yung one of the things na hindi na-realize, you know, ng mga tao na it's not just about reporting or representing your schools. It's about gaining the trust of these athletes and and so that they can let you tell their stories, diba? All of their adversities, their life stories, how they grew up, yung mga ganong personal na bagay na you don't usually tell to other people. So yes, that was a challenge to parang gain their trust. And of course, there was also intimidation. You're intimidated because you don't know who they really are outside the court. But I guess yung mga trainings and other team dinners, it all helped. It all helped. Pero it will really either take a while, or yun yung mga bagay na kailangan mo talagang pagtrabahuhan. You have to be patient with trying to get a story, or sometimes there are athletes who are kind of reserved and hindi sila agad makakapagkwento. So yun yung mga bagay na you should, find a way to kung paano mo siya gagawin. But of course, the FEU athletes for me are very, very important. And I always believe that they're all talented. That's why I really tried my best during my courtside days to tell their stories the best way I can.
Well, thank you so much, Sid, for your time. It was so nice to hear your courtside stories and sharing it to everybody who maybe wants to audition. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks, guys.
Now, if you want to report on the sidelines like Sid, now is your chance to audition as the next UAAP courtside reporter. If you are 18 to 23 years old, currently enrolled in a UAAP school, and fluent in both English and Tagalog, submit your CV and a 90-second headshot with brief introduction and why you want to be a courtside reporter to the email on your screens on or before February 6, 2022. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Billy Capistrano.
And I'm Paul De Rosario. This has been The Game.